You know, you shouldn't stare at that thing all day.
Oh, you're right, darling. The soap operas have had too much of a grip on me. Today, for instance, on A Road of Grief, Jeremy found out that he was going crazy, and that Felicia had had a relationship with his parents during his amnesia period.
Darling, I don't know how to tell you this, but I lost my job today.
And on As the Planet Drifts, Margot and Brett broke it off forever so that Starla could spend her precious last moments with Brock before a sex change operation.
You didn't hear me. I'm out of work. And the school called my office. Junior has run away to become a groupie for Kate Smith.
Darling, on The Whispered Storm, Elijah told Niall that she had lied about his incurable brain tumor so that Mark would want to keep the baby.
Will you listen to me? When I lost the job and was rushing home to tell you about Junior, I smashed up the car. I totaled it. We're going to be sued for everything we own, our house, our savings.
Well, don't you want to hear what happened during the gathering days?
No, I just want to talk to you. You're all I have left. There's nothing. There's just you.
Don't you want to hear what happened during Beyond the Brink?
Look, don't you understand? You're the only thing remaining in my life. I don't care what happened during my soap operas, or your soap operas, or anybody's soap operas.
Oh, that's such a relief. It's okay, Freddie doesn't care. You can come on out.
I guess everybody's got to be someplace. Well, then, I might as well confess. I've been seeing another woman.
Darling!
From Hollywood, it's the Mike Douglas Show. Saluting the soap opera lovers from Days of Our Lives, Deidre Hall and Jen Allen. And their guest, Tom Sullivan. From Three's Company, Audrey Lindley. Phyllis Diller. And a demonstration of Buffalo Chip Crossing. 12 won't go away. It'll all happen right after this. Again, here's the star of our show, Mike Douglas. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, lovely. You do it. I would like to thank all of you who canvassed door to door. I feel like a politician getting ready to make an acceptance speech. I mean, aren't they beautiful? Where are you all from? Oh, there. You know what it sounds like when you say to an audience, where are you all from? But thank you for coming down and standing in line. But today, my co-hosts are old hands at co-hosting. You see, they've done it twice before. They're both very popular people, having each won Best Actor and Actress Award in Daytime TV Magazine's annual awards. They're among the favorites of all the soap opera lovers. Here from Days of Our Lives are Jen Allen and Deidre Hall. Welcome.
when you hear about a dinner at night when your wife is telling you what's happening? I just thought of that. They come home to dinner at night, the men who do not see you, and the wives must talk about the carryings on. We gotta do that. Yeah. What's happening with the characters on Days of Our Lives? Your character first, Deidre.
Well, I'm trying to get Don Craig to marry me.
I'm fighting very hard. How long have you been fighting? 2.5 years now. And is it a subtle thing on soaps or not? I don't get a chance to watch because I'm working all the time.
Is it a subtle thing?
The way you're trying to get them to marry you. Is it a subtle approach you use?
No,
we say something like, "Hey, sucker, let's get down with you."
Not very subtle, no.
You know that I may be a grandfather on the show. If that happens, I walk off the show. A grandfather? That's a possibility. I may be a grandfather. You've got a kid that old? There's a kid I just found out was my kid is 15. Oops. And I got a kid home was 15, but I don't want to be a grandfather. Not yet. I'm too, to be a grandfather. I don't want that yet. So I'm going to do something about writing it. Writing to the writers and say, don't make me a grandfather. Can I tell you something? When it happens, it is groovy. You like it. It is wonderful. And they're so cute, and they don't do anything wrong to grandchildren. Well, I know. I may be one anyway. I don't know. I got 3 boys. That's right. I read that you used to work in the Lassie series. Is that true? Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I was, who'd you play? I was a fire hydrant in uniform. I would say that's probably the worst experience I've had in my entire life, and yet it was the greatest learning process I ever had, too. Getting the job was an experience. How? How did you get it? We actors do crazy things to get jobs. I was doing the guest starring one spot on the show, and the next week, after I did the guest starring spot, the guy who was playing the part hurt himself. He hurt his hand very badly, and they had to take him out of the show. Really very badly. It was a terrible accident. He's fine and well now, but at that time he was very hurt very badly. So they said, would you like to do the show? And I said, I'd love to do the show. They said, would you have to come down and meet a few people and talk to us and so on and so forth. So I went down and spent a couple hours with them. And they said, how do you like being an actor? I said, love it. I said, remember now, the dog is the star of the show. You're just, you're just a forest ranger, and that's it. I said, they told me I cannot be the star of the show. The dog is the star. You can't even get a press agent. How do you upstage a dog? Well, I found a way. First of all, I didn't have the job at this time, so I said to myself, how do I go about getting a job? Well, they called me back again. Another couple of days later, I said, you got to meet somebody else. I said, who? I said, the dog, she says. I said, I got to meet the dog. She says, Mr. Allen, if the dog doesn't like you, how can you play a show with a dog? Which is very true, right? That's right. But then I remembered the dog was a male dog, you see. It wasn't. Everyone thinks Lassie's a female. It was a male dog, right? So what I did was, I remembered there was a dog around my block that was in heat. In Jewish, they say emes, which really means the truth. I went around before the interview and rolled around in that dirt with the dog in heat. Are you serious? I swear to you. I took off the jacket, I didn't take off my pants, just the jacket. I rolled around in the dirt, I had a good time. I went down to the meeting, and we're sitting there, and I'm talking to them for 2 more hours. And you're giving it this? Get off my lap. No please on me. And, 2 hours go by, I said, fine, now the meeting's over. I said, when do I meet the dogs? Oh, well, we have to take a trip to Saugus for the dog. I said, Saugus? What do I do now? I said to myself. Went back to Van Nuys. I did it again for another hour. I rolled around in the dirt with the dog in the heat. I went all the way out to Saugus on top of a mountain, and we got to the trailer, and I opened the trailer door, and the dog jumped out at me, knocked me over, and I fell down flat, and I got the job. What bothers me is I had a partner on the show. I can't imagine what he did to get the job. Speaking of him, you get any stories like that?
The hard times getting jobs?
Hard times getting jobs?
No.
We showed one picture, you remember? The commercial you had done?
Oh, yes, yes.
The other side of TV.
Right.
I did a commercial. Yeah?
It was an ad. It was stuffed in the oven, and I was in the oven.
Oh, really?
You got the picture?
Yes.
I had heard when my sister Andrea joined the show.
She's an identical twin. I think most of you know that, I think. Identical twin.
She played a very wicked lady. And we heard nightmare stories about what happens to ladies who play villains on the show. And so we had to make a point of the first few months when she was being bad not to go out together in public, because that way, if she was in the market, she could say, I'm Marlena, I'm Marlena. We could both get away with it.
I can imagine being your father. Can you imagine having two daughters that look like this at home as teenagers? And those guys coming around, and you're going, and you remember, don't you, Ted?
Oh,
You have girls.
I
You remember.
don't ever want to have, I don't envy the men who have girls. I could not handle it. I don't think to have somebody like this walking around the house at 15 and every guy knocks at the door saying, what do you want from my daughter? I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't.
When you shoot 5 hours of drama a week, as you do, I mean, I said yesterday on the show to Eva Marie Saint, you know, what you kids do every day is almost like a feature-length motion picture in some cases, you know. And she said, I think she marvels at what you people do, an actress of that stature. But don't you make a lot of mistakes? You've got to. You can't command that to memory.
Yeah, there are mistakes made, and we either do the scene over, we do what is called a pickup shot.
Do you ever keep any of the mistakes that are funny? A lot of them are very funny.
A lot of them are so funny they can't keep them.
Didn't he go up on his lines one day on the show? Did they leave that in or take it out?
No, there was a scene that Jed and I had done.
Which one?
Well, there was, the first time it happened was in like a similar week. A pickup shot is when they've done the scene all the way through, and for some reason they want an extra shot of the actor reacting. And
then they edit that in. Right?
Edit that in during that moment.
Gives the producer-director a chance to play producer-director. Gives them something to do.
Right.
Because we're always so perfect, they don't have anything to do.
So what they do is they take that clip and put it into the show, and you never know that it was done as sort of a wild shot. And invariably what happens is you're under pressure. They rush out and say, we need to pick up a shot at this moment, and do it up front and start counting down. And if you're lost, you're lost. There's no time to think or do anything.
It's a helpless feeling.
Do we have something?
Yeah, we have some outtakes. You going to set this up, or does it have to be set up?
Now the first one, I believe, was one of those moments where when they began doing the countdown, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. And then the film starts rolling, and you just sort of wing it.
So let's take a look at it, Marty.
Joe is going to say, women, how laid back she is on cue.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, you know how laid back Donnie is. Laid down, laid up.
You can't remember anything more than that. In 5.
No way.
Wait, hold. Let's count again, please. Here we go. 4, 3, 2.
Well, you know how laid back Donnie is.
Okay, once you lead it into it, you can't remember anything more than that.
I don't know what I did.
Just a little nod is all we need. Once again, you can't remember anything more than that.
You can't remember anything more than that.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't remember anything more than that.
I don't know anybody that can, just yesterday I was trying to read a comedy bit, and I got so broken up at the names, and then I'm saying to myself, you're a professional person, you can go on, and everybody thought, he's out of it for good. I laughed all the way through. Probably
It worked, right?
It worked because the audience and Red Buttons, and he starts to laugh, and everybody's laughing with me. Nobody knew what I was laughing at, but it was funnier than perhaps the sketch.
But what happens is you can't get out of it.
Oh,
You know,
gotta
it
keep
just
the character.
starts to tickle you every time
and you
you
keep
start
biting
to do
your
it.
lip and saying, no,
Right.
I can handle
I
that.
can do it. I'll think something serious. I can do it.
Some of the best things we've ever done are really not acting things. I hate to tell you a secret, but it really isn't. Something just happens, and, that's it.
This next one's on you. We get a little too involved in it. He gets a little too involved in this
In
one.
his
Always.
Forgets
It's in the help getting involved with this, guys. I mean, really.
And then it comes time to say something, his mind's somewhere else. Let's take a look.
I wish I didn't have to go.
I think it's 1:30 in the morning. If I don't go now, I never will.
Okay, don't go.
Really? You might get her hot on it, Dad. You know that.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
You ever stop trying and start worrying?
I'm gonna keep on trying.
Yeah, give it a shot. Look, I gotta go put up for breakfast at Jerry. Fine. What's his name, right? When I do, he's gonna come in with a continuous from both of us, you know? With a quest for one. And, he wants to be fair, even though he's not really representing. He wants to be fair to both sides.
No, he wants to be fair.
Yeah, he does. He wants to be fair.
Yeah.
See, everybody can identify with that because we, you know, it's a very natural thing to do. That's what I miss about live